Hey, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in the previous 2 episodes of this mini-series, we started from scratch, counting along to songs, learning to feel the beat, and then subdividing the beat so that we could express it on guitar in the form of strumming downstrokes and upstrokes. Well, the last thing I want to go over is, what if the song sounds faster than that? What if counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and moving my arm down and up like that just doesn't seem to fit the song? All we need to do is go to the next gear to subdivide further. And as I mentioned in the previous 2 videos, there's a worksheet on my Patreon for all these lessons that'll help you follow along and tell you exactly what you need to practice in order to build your rhythm. I also have my free ebook and my strumming course. There's links for all that stuff down below. We'll begin by taking our 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just muted strings, counting along. And we're going to divide each of those in half. So our 1 becomes 1E, our and becomes and we end up getting 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. And there's 16 of those, so that gives us 16th notes. So in the same way when we went from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're just doing the same thing. We're popping yet another thing between those little beats, and that's going to kick us into the next gear. And in order to make the downstrokes and upstrokes work out, since there isn't a third type of stroke, we only have downstrokes and upstrokes, what we have to do is we take 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we turn those all into downstrokes. And now these new strokes that we're adding, those are the upstrokes. So we're still going down and up the whole time. The order, down, up, down, up, down, up, that's not changing. We just are, to subdivide further, we're taking our 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and turning that all into downstrokes, and then adding upstrokes between that. To summarize, we have an entire measure, and we divide it into 4 beats, or quarters, and that gives us our 1, 2, 3, 4 style of counting. Then we divide our measure into 8 beats, or eighths, and that gives us our 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and style of counting. We turn those all into downstrokes, and now we're going to divide our measure into 16 beats, or 16th notes, by adding upstrokes between each of those. And that gives us 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. And to practice this, I like to do something a little bit simpler. And I like to use a 4-word syllable, watermelon. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each number, I play a watermelon, which is down, up, on my guitar. So watermelon, 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 watermelon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watermelon, 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 watermelon. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 watermelons, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, but I keep my arm going at the same pace the whole time. And eventually you could try the real counting, 16th note counting. You could go watermelon, 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 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a, watermelon, and just go back and forth between those. To be able to count the real way is helpful when you're communicating with other musicians, but when it comes to actually being able to do it, little tricks like saying watermelon, if it gets you playing the strokes right and gets you going along with the song, it can't be that bad. And you could also accomplish 16th notes with a simple trick, just by putting together 2 regular strumming patterns and pretending that the counting is going twice as fast. So instead of counting in 16th notes like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could just count 1, 2, 3, 4 twice as fast, like this. You can see how it lines up. And we're doing it 2 times. We're counting to 4 twice instead of once. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the real key with this stuff is to go at your own pace. To take a look at it, count it out, do it slowly. Remember to mute your strings and move your arm with the beat. And really there is no difference between eighth notes, between putting 2 eighth note patterns together, counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, Or if you're counting 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and your arm's going to be moving the same way, to the observer, you're going to sound the same on guitar. The only difference is how you're counting it in your head. And I just want to expose you to this stuff. Now, I'm going to end it there. There's plenty more where that came from. Triplets, compound time signatures, this reaches some pretty advanced territory. And I wouldn't stress over it. If you do want to build up to this point, I have a course, Strumming Made Simple, where we start with the easiest concepts, and then we just build up bit by bit to that point. My goal is always to explain things in the simplest way possible. I don't want to just show you all the cool stuff that I can do and that I've learned. I want to help you learn it step by step, gradually. So if you want to get into that, that's the way to do it. But this is a great starting point, being able to go from quarter notes to eighth notes and into 16th notes, or even to just begin to dabble in 16th notes using that little watermelon trick is going to be really helpful to you. If you have any questions, please ask down below. Don't forget, there's my free ebook. There's that worksheet on the Patreon. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.